And welcome back. What an interesting housing market we have right now. The Fed just increased rates a couple of days ago, yet mortgage rates have been falling for the past 2 days since then. Also, the inventory of houses for sale right now is way higher compared to the past couple of years, yet it's still well below pre-pandemic levels as homeowners decide not to sell due to feeling locked in by their very low rates. Because of this, new listings are down by double digits year over year in each of the 4 major US regions. Homes on average are taking longer to sell compared to last year, but they're still selling faster compared to 2017 through 2019 this time. Also, even with the decrease in home buying demand right now compared to 1 year ago, the housing market feels competitive in many areas due to the scarcity of houses for sale, historically speaking. So in today's video, I'm going to share this brand new report from Realtor.com, which actually is the first report I've seen which covers the entire month of April. I say this because other companies such as the National Association of Realtors just released March's numbers a couple of weeks ago, and they won't post April's numbers until mid to late May this year. With that said, of course, I have a lot to share, but before that, check out that link below, which is homeandmoney.com/Jason if you guys want a real estate agent referral. Okay, let's go ahead and dive right in. Of course, I have a lot to share here. So this is a report which is just published today, which is May 4th here. And this is for the entire month of April, including pending home sales. I really like this because, so for example, according to the National Association of Realtors, they just released March's numbers on April 20th. On top of that, we won't see April's numbers for existing home sales and prices until May 18th. And we won't see a report regarding pending home sales for April until May 25th. So that's why I want to really share this report with you guys here. Let's first talk about inventory because this is something you definitely should be aware of because this is absolutely insane here because inventory levels have been flat all year. In fact, in February and March, they actually decreased. And also in April, they only increased by 1,000 houses. So right now, as of the end of April, according to Realtor.com, there's 563,598 houses for sale. I found this to be interesting though, because look at their previous report for March, 562,565. So just over 562,000 houses for sale. And now in March, just over 563,000, a gain of only 1,000 houses in 1 month, which is absolutely insane. So even though we have a 48.3% more houses for sale right now compared to 2022, because back in 2022, there was just under 400,000 houses for sale. Historically speaking though, we're at very, very low levels right now. In fact, we're not seeing this uptick in inventory levels like we typically see in March and April each year. In fact, it only went up by 1,000 houses for sale, just absolutely insane. Anyways, historically speaking, at this time of year, we should be seeing around 1.1 to 1.2 million houses for sale. Therefore, even though inventory increased by 48% year over year, we're still down by about 50% compared to pre-pandemic levels. Therefore, this April, we have approximately 636,000 fewer houses for sale in the US compared to April of 2017, which is absolutely insane. And of course, the reason why we have historically low housing inventory right now is this right here, a lack of new listings, because for April compared to April 2022, there's approximately 21% fewer new listings. So in April, there was approximately 392,000 new listings this April. But going back to last year, which is in, orange right here, or I'd say yellow, we had approximately 500,000 new listings. Now look at this though, because in 2017, 18, and 19, which is this group right here, we had just over 550,000 new listings, whereas this April, it was actually under 400,000. So therefore, we have approximately 30% fewer new listings compared to 2017 and 2019 at this time. They also cite Fannie Mae's monthly survey in which they concluded that a higher share of people are saying that's now a good time to sell a house. So you see here Fannie Mae's Home Purchase Sentiment Index, or their HPSI, that survey improved regarding home selling conditions in the US. The net share of survey respondents who said now is a good time to sell increased by 8 percentage points compared to the previous month. However, though, March's more positive seller sentiment did not translate to more newly listed houses for sale. Again, down by 29.7% compared to pre-pandemic levels. What they also concluded in this survey here by Fannie Mae, which is posted on April 7th, is that overall sentiment, consumer sentiment regarding the housing market in the US is near an all-time record low going back to at least 2010. So this monthly survey conducted by Fannie Mae has been going on since 2010. So overall sentiment in the US regarding our housing market is very, very close to an all-time record low going back to 2010. On top of that, based on this survey here that was conducted last month, only 58% believed it was a good time to sell a house, where 40% said it was a bad time to sell. On the buy side, only 20% believed it was a good time to buy a house, and interesting enough, approximately 95% of those people were real estate agents. Nah, just kidding. I can only say that because I am a real estate agent. I have been a real estate agent for about 10 years now. Any case, it's just kind of funny. They also said here that no regions saw an improvement in sellers listing their houses for sale this April. In fact, new listings in each of these 4 major regions are down compared to pre-pandemic levels. In regards to the number of houses for sale, inventory increased in 42 out of 50 largest metros compared to last year. Most inventory growth was actually in Austin, Texas. Look at that. The number of houses for sale in Austin, Texas increased by 258% year over year. That was followed by Nashville, a gain of 193%, and then Raleigh, North Carolina, a gain of 183%. However, though, even though we have far more houses for sale, historically speaking, compared to 1 year ago, it's still overall far lower compared to pre-pandemic levels. In fact, only Austin, Texas saw higher levels of inventory in April, a gain of 4.3% compared to the typical 2017 to 2019's levels. So of course, what this means is that 49 of the 50 most populous metros have reported decreases of inventory compared to 2017 to 2019 at this time. And again, only Austin, Texas has reported a gain over that time frame. Also, what's wild about our housing market right now is that even though we have more inventory in 42 of the 50 most populous metros compared to 1 year ago, in April, those 50 largest metros, only San Antonio, Texas saw the number of newly listed houses or new listings increase compared to last year, a gain of only 0.4% year over year. In other words, despite the gains we've been seeing of inventory compared to last year, it's remarkable given the fact that 49 of the 50 largest metros are down regarding new listings compared to 1 year ago. In fact, the markets that reported the biggest decreases of new listings year over year was San Diego, down by 39.4%, San Jose, a decrease of 39.2%, and Sacramento, California, where I live and work as a real estate agent, down by 38.3%. Now, here's something that I found to be very interesting as well. Here's a look at the number of pending home sales, a measure of contracts being signed between buyers and sellers. And I believe the stats in today's video is based on existing houses only, not new home construction here. So according to Realtor.com here, the number of houses under contract, in other words, pending listings, decreased by 22.5% compared to April last year. So here's a look at pending home sales going back to 2017. This peak line right here is 2023. So right now we have 22.5% fewer contracts being signed between buyers and sellers compared to 2022 at this time. However, though, compared to 2021, it's also even greater than that. So we actually had a far higher number of contracts being signed in 2021 than, of course, we do this year. So what really caught my attention regarding this is that even though we have far fewer pendings compared to last year, as well as 2021, the current levels right now is on par with 2017 to 2019. The reason why I found this to be interesting is that, remember, there's approximately 50% fewer houses for sale right now compared to 2017 to 2019. Yet, we still have approximately the same number of contracts being signed this year compared to those years past. Here's also something strange as well, because houses are taking longer to sell right now compared to 2021 as well as last year. But houses on average in the US are still selling faster compared to pre-pandemic levels. So for example, this April, the median days in the market was 49 days. This means it's taking 17 days longer to sell a house this April compared to April of 2022. In contrast, compared to 2018 and 2019, days in the market was approximately 59 days. This means this April, it's actually taking 10 days faster to sell a house compared to those years. Realtor.com also touched on asking prices in the US. These are asking prices in which home sellers are asking for their houses, of course. Just so redundant anyways. So listing prices are likely to decrease relative to the previous year sometime in May. So right now, listing prices on average are still up compared to 2022, even though home sold prices are down compared to last year's levels. However, though, they're predicting that asking prices are actually going to be down year over year starting in May this year. And they, of course, cite one of the reasons why listing prices are not increasing at the same rate we saw last year is due to a lack of housing affordability here. And speaking of that, they say housing affordability is expected to continue to create headwinds for many home buyers this year. So for example, these higher mortgage rates and home prices compared to April of last year have increased the monthly cost of financing 80% of a house. In other words, putting 20% down on a property, you have an 8% loan. That's going to cost you approximately $340 more per month to buy that same house today compared to 1 year ago. And that's a 19% increase. And here's a look at asking prices right now. As you can see right here, still increasing, but not nearly at the same rate we saw back in 2022. I mean, prices were absolutely skyrocketing until we hit June last year. And of course, speaking of housing affordability or lack thereof, it's not just due to an increase in rates, though, of course. It's also due to an increase in prices. So right now, the median list price is $430,000. When looking at pre-COVID levels, going back to 2019 this time, it was actually just under $320,000. Back in 2018, it was under $300,000, and back in 2017, it was around $270,000. So what I'm getting at here is that, yes, it's nice to see that asking prices are not increasing at the same rate. However, though, compared to, especially compared to pre-pandemic levels, home prices are still very, 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 very high. And lastly, here's two more charts I want to share with you guys, because here's a look at how each of the four major regions compares to 1 year ago, as well as compared to 2017 to 2019 at this time here. So here's a look at year-over-year changes here. So the biggest increases of active listings, or the number of houses for sale, is in the South. Housing inventory doubled compared to April 2022, whereas the Northeast only saw a gain of 5.2%. Meanwhile, new listings are down by double digits in each of the four major regions, with the West decreasing the most, down by 33.2%. Regarding asking prices increased the least in the West, a gain of 3.1%, whereas the Midwest increased the most, a gain of 11.7% year over year. In contrast here, the stats here look entirely different when looking at the averages of 2017 and 2019 this time here. So even though inventory growth increased year over year in each of these four major regions, they're down by over 37% in each of those regions as well compared to pre-pandemic levels. In fact, the biggest decrease was actually in the Northeast, falling 60.5%. New listings are also down by at least 22% as well. So for example, in the West, new listings fell by 38.5%. The Midwest fell by nearly 33%. Regarding housing affordability, I mean, this really says it all right here because in the Midwest, asking prices increased by 30.8% compared to the same time frame in 2017 and 2019 on average. The Northeast surged by 35%, the South saw an increase of 34%, and the West absolutely skyrocketed, a gain of 37%. So I'd love to hear from you guys. What's your biggest takeaway from today's video? My biggest takeaway is that we're not seeing this increase of housing inventory because we only saw a gain of 1,000 houses for sale. I mean, inventory levels this year have been going down and also have been flat compared to 1 year ago or 1 month ago. And we're also still down greatly compared to 2017 to 2019, despite the fact we have far more houses for sale compared to 2021 and 2022. And that right there, my friends, is a big problem if we want to see an improvement of housing affordability in the US, like I personally want to see it. Anyways, what's your biggest takeaways though? Please let me comment below. And of course, I appreciate you guys watching this video. And of course, I appreciate you supporting my YouTube channel. Check out that link below if you guys want a real estate agent referral. And I'll see you on the next video.